Hey there, Squirrel Army! It's time for more precon upgrades from Commander Masters. This is the precon party upgrade guide. Alright, so I've already talked about these commanders, so I'm not going to spend much time talking about them here because I already did those videos before. So if you want a more detailed view of what this commander does, go check out my video. It should be coming up in a little bar there above. So you can see more of a detailed look at what I think about this commander, what I think the kind of deck we're trying to build with it is, and that sort of thing. But otherwise, we're just going to get right into the deck list and having a look at what we're going to take out and what we're going to put in. Alright, so here we are, having a look at the Planeswalker Party deck list, and I have had a little bit of a look at it. I have many problems with this deck. I usually do have problems with Planeswalker decks, and I usually have problems with Planeswalkers just in general. When I play Planeswalkers, either they barely do anything, then die, or they just sort of sit there and aren't really doing much. There's a couple of really good Planeswalkers, but there aren't a huge amount of them. But yeah, I never see Planeswalkers being that amazing for me. But when my friend plays Planeswalker, he's always comboing off and activating them 30 times, then Uganing us for billions of damage. So yeah, like, I hate playing against Planeswalkers because it's always like combo, you know. And I don't really want to do that with this deck, but it's just like, how else can we win with this deck? And like, looking through the list bears that out. Like, there is some stuff that's in here that's pretty cool and pretty interesting here and there. But again, the focus of how do we actually, like, win is just very, like, oh, I don't know, hope to combo or hope to have somehow just win. I don't know, hope people can concede. I don't know. That's the problem with this deck. I don't know. Can't see any combos specifically. Maybe there is one. I'm sure probably someone else has gone, oh, you play this with this and this and this and this and this and you win. Oh, cool, bro. Great. You know. But the thing is, I can't see it. Like, people have said this a lot of times about me and the way I play, and they say, you've got a combo on the field. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Or you got part of a combo on the field. And I'm like, do I? I don't know. I've got no clue, bro. I'm just playing a card that's in my deck. And they're like, do you have the other piece? And I'm like, what other piece? I have no clue what you're talking about. Like, most of the time, literally no clue, like, what you're on about. So, yeah, but that's just me. Anyway, the tough thing, or one of the most tough things about this commander is that just one of the colors, red, you know, if you want to buy this deck, I kind of feel like most people are just picking this up for the Planeswalkers that are in blue and white to add to their Atraxa deck. Or maybe a 5-color jank Planeswalker deck of some sort. I don't know. That's the other problem with this deck. It's so overshadowed by Atraxa being like the best Planeswalker commander out there that it's like so tough to play a deck that has red in it. Now, there are some okay, red planeswalkers here and there, and red aligned planeswalkers here and there too. But I don't know, dudes. This one is probably gonna be the hardest one for me to cook up what's going on with it. So yeah, expect this one to be coming out last, like maybe even 3 weeks, 4 weeks, in months maybe. I don't know, because like I have no clue how this deck is meant to come together. I can see some cards that could be cut. I can see some cards maybe that we could add, but beyond that, I really think we need to find a way that this deck can be more powerful, can win, but not be super obnoxious and just be like, oh, look, I comboed, you know. So that's going to take a lot of work. So wish me luck. You can join the Screw Army by subscribing. Alrighty, guys. So I finally finished the deck list. Was the hardest one to build, just maybe for me. I don't know. It's tough to figure out, as I said, how this deck specifically wins without just being like lol combos or whatever. Though I think I found a cool card that helps us out, and a couple of cool cards that are actually in the deck list. BTW, again, if you're not super interested in all the chatter and explanations, go check out the deck list in the comments below. You can do what you will from there on and figure it out for yourself. But for those that are here, which is probably less than 15% of people, but whatever. We'll go through the list as quickly as what we can, because I know some people do want to see it, so it makes life a little bit easier. So yeah, Lizelle, additional counters is really good, so I feel like that's a must. Miller, the dog, he does turn into a planeswalker as well, or whatever. You have to transform him, or whatever it is, or cast him on his other side, or whatever. But I think mainly I was thinking about it for this side. Does give decent protection, so it's not too bad. Technical, really, the proliferate is really good, and we can protect it, and it's a pretty decent flyer, so it can protect some of our stuff, so that's alright. Ballad, protect our planeswalkers, please. That's the sort of thing that we need. We need to protect our planeswalkers. We sometimes protect ourselves, but we really need to protect our planeswalkers. Plus, it's 2/4 vigilance, so none too bad. Same with the Archon, except it has flying. I like flying. Flying's pretty decent, so has pro white, which okay might be relevant here or there, but yeah, whatever. Jehoira, we needed more card draw here, and this is pretty decent for the deck. Most of our stuff being planeswalkers is legendary, so that's alright. Also, we're not in green, so we're playing a lot of mana rocks to actually have ramp, so we're also playing a fair few artifacts, so that works pretty well. Resculpt and Comeuppance for some removal. Comeuppance is like a fog, kind of, but it also deals damage to the opponent or whatever that was dealing the damage. It's kind of like a deflecting swat in some ways, but it can prevent all damage, not just damage from one source. So thought that was alright. helps us out sometimes. There's the other one, Mandate Peace, which is pretty decent, but I couldn't think of one more card to cut except for more lands, so I didn't really want to. The class, more proliferate, just really good for us. They also can remove some stuff from opponents' boards, so pretty decent. The Gauntlet, very good. Proliferate's very good for us, obviously. But the Neg 12 is pretty decent too. And putting additional counters on stuff, that's really what we're doing. So, again, that really helps us out. So, there's a lot of utility there for a deck like this. Engine, again, more proliferate, just really good. Again, can kill some stuff from opponents, so not too bad. Whirlwind, we needed more card draw. Actually, I removed Sphere of Safety because I wasn't too hot on it. It was just okay. Inexorable Tide, again, more proliferate. We need that everywhere through here. All will be but one. Some more burn damage to, find ways to kill our opponents or even kill our opponents' stuff. But yeah, this can help us a lot because we're putting counters on lots of Planeswalkers, so gives us a way to actually close out games and whatnot. That's not a real big combo. Big Teferi, the fact that we can activate it on any player's turn and it gives us 2 extra turns as an alt is super good, especially at instant speed. We just take 2 extra turns halfway through a cycle or whatever. So it's super strong, plus a decent card draw, and can phase things out. So it does a lot of decent things for us. Narset, pretty decent to get cards, card advantage, and that sort of thing. So I thought that was alright. Does some other stuff that's okay. I don't think its alt is too bad, and you might get there. It starts at 6, so depends what your board state kind of is, so you could get there. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, actually, I removed Kara's Mina. Middle Teferi, which used to be Big Teferi, but whatever. Draws his cards, sort of pays for itself a little bit, also phases stuff out, or no, removes stuff, and the emblem is just a backbreaker, so that's real strong. And the last Teferi, which is the other big Teferi, so many Teferi, but this one's really insane. Everyone knows it's pretty insane and it's pretty cheap. So we had $100 worth of cards, or 110 thereabouts, to 130. So yeah, pretty decent additions there for this one. So yeah, that is it for this one. Besides what I took out. Cartographer's Hawk, just pretty bad card, honestly. Wouldn't play it. Deep Glow isn't horrible, but I just think it's so one-off that you want more consistency than what this delivers. So unless you've got a lot of blink, I wouldn't worry about playing it. Deploy, again, very one-off effect. It's alright, but we can just get better advantages and more consistent advantages. So Fogbank, not terrible at protecting stuff, but there's just other stuff that does it better. The bacon can only put 3 counters on stuff, so I mean that's not horrible, but it's certainly not the best, and it's already a 3-drop mana rock, so at this level I would expect a little bit more, but whatever. Gideon, not very good, I don't think. It's especially for this deck. Um, so probably doesn't do enough. So Guff rewrites history. Mass Chaos Warp isn't terrible, but and it is instant. So, but again, I don't think it's what you want to do to remove stuff. I think there's better and easier ways to remove stuff that's just actually remove stuffs rather than giving them free things or whatever. It does give us something, but we have to lose something, so no. Jace, Party Jace isn't really on our gun plan, so it's not the worst. If you're in a deck that can politic pretty well, then yeah, sure. But I don't think it's really in our wheelhouse game plan. Another Jace, Kicker Jace. Scrying 2, not the worst, but not that amazing. I think it's only really good if you kick it and get the additional copy, so you can scry with one, neg with the other, and then kill it off, so that you've drawn a card, scry 2 or whatever. But for like 5 mana, I don't think that's that worth it. So no, not amazing. Giles Phoenix, not terrible, but a bit overcosted. I feel there's a lot of other stuff that does similar stuff that's in the deck that just does more and for less. So it is flying and haste, but it was one of the weakest ones that I decided we could live without. Narset, no. Narset used to be good. It's only really good if you've got lots of ways to give it good evasion and stuff and good protection and stuff. Otherwise, it's just a one-off effect that doesn't really do a whole lot. Yeah, it can do some stuff, but honestly, it doesn't do enough for what you invest, I don't think, a lot of the time. Nev's disc, we had a lot of removal or board wipes here, so I didn't think we needed it. Maybe we do need more artifact and enchantment removal, but there's a lot of other good wraths here, so don't know what would cut, so Oath of Jace, drawing 2 cards is not terrible, but not consistent, so not very good. Scrying, I don't really like scrying very much. I don't think it's good enough for what we're doing, and I think we can just get better, so the Explorer, just getting some lands to our hand isn't terrible, but isn't good, and just doesn't do enough, so Promise of Loyalty, yeah, like we can stop our opponents from attacking us with whatever's left over, but they're gonna rebuild. And again, we already had a few wraths here, and even Elspeth has a wrath on it. So again, we've got lots of wraths, so I don't really think we needed it. So reverberation, like we haven't got a lot of instant sorceries, so I don't see what it's really doing in the deck at all. Lands, just all bad dad tap lands, just replaced them with basics. I think it was just a couple of planes and that was it. War of Denial, Flying and Defender with Shroud just isn't going to cut it. We need more than this, so yeah. But that it is it for this one. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. You can let me know what you guys think. Write your thoughts down there in the comments below. And hope you will join me again in the next one.